Vanished! Welcome back to the Abyss, my fellow horror hounds. Tonight we explore the dark and twisted paths of haunted orchards. These places, once symbols of bounty and life, have become sinister traps for the unsuspecting. We've got tales of love lost, friendships shattered, and lives extinguished, all amidst the gnarled branches and rotting fruit. Turn down the lights, turn up the volume, and get ready to explore the chilling mysteries of those who dared to enter and never found their way out. Our first story takes us to Whispering Pines Orchard, hidden among America's fields. This orchard, once a place of joy and laughter, now holds a dark and chilling secret that has haunted the local community for decades. A young couple, madly in love, had a picnic there on a bright spring day. They were the picture of happiness, enjoying the warmth of the sun and the beauty of the blooming trees. They laughed, shared stories, and made plans for their future, completely unaware of the sinister fate that awaited them. As the day turned to dusk, the couple seemed to vanish into thin air. Their picnic blanket was found abandoned, with their belongings scattered around as if they had left in a hurry. Despite extensive searches, they were never seen alive again, leaving behind a mystery that would baffle everyone who heard their story. The orchard was abandoned, left to decay under its dark secret. The once vibrant trees began to wither, and the place that was once filled with life became a haunting reminder of the couple's disappearance. Locals whispered about the orchard, claiming it was cursed, and no one dared to enter its eerie confines. Fast forward to present day, two college kids, fueled by bravado and beers, decided to explore the legendary orchard. They had heard the stories, and driven by curiosity and a sense of adventure, they wanted to uncover the truth behind the legend. Armed with a flashlight and their smartphones, they set out on a night that would change their lives forever. Armed with a flashlight, they crossed the rusted fence that marked the boundary of the orchard. The fence, covered in vines and rust, seemed to groan as they pushed through, as if warning them to turn back. But they pressed on, determined to find answers. The air grew heavy, the silence unnerving. Every step they took seemed to echo in the stillness, and the fog that had settled over the orchard made it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. The once familiar sounds of the night were absent, replaced by an oppressive quiet that seemed to press in on them from all sides. They reached the spot where the couple vanished. It was an unremarkable clearing, but there was an undeniable sense of foreboding that hung in the air. The students felt a chill run down their spines as they realized they were standing in the very place where the couple had disappeared all those years ago. The flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced around them. The students exchanged nervous glances, their earlier bravado quickly fading. The flickering light seemed to make the shadows come alive, creating shapes and figures that played tricks on their minds. A sudden gust of wind howled through the trees, sending leaves and branches swirling around them. The wind seemed to carry whispers, voices that were just out of reach, adding to the growing sense of dread that filled the air. The flashlight died, plunging them into darkness. Panic set in as they fumbled to get it working again, but it was no use. They were left in complete darkness, with only the sounds of their own breathing and the rustling of the trees to keep them company. Fear gripped their hearts as they stumbled blindly through the orchard. Every step felt like it could be their last, and the darkness seemed to close in around them, making it difficult to tell which way they were going. They called out to each other, their voices trembling with fear, but the oppressive silence swallowed their cries. They tripped over a blanket and found a skull. The sight of the skull, half buried in the dirt, sent a wave of terror through them. It was a grim reminder of the fate that had befallen the couple, and they realized with horror that they might be next. They screamed, but the orchard claimed them. Their cries for help echoed through the trees, but there was no one around to hear them. The darkness seemed to swallow them whole, and the orchard returned to its eerie silence as if nothing had happened. The next morning the sun rose, but no trace of the students was found. The orchard looked as it always had, abandoned and overgrown, with no sign of the terror that had unfolded the night before. The mystery of the vanishing couple had claimed two more victims, adding to the legend that surrounded Whispering Pines Orchard. Some say you can still hear their screams echoing through the trees. The legend of the vanishing couple lives on, a chilling reminder of the dark secrets that lie hidden in the most unexpected places. And so, Whispering Pines Orchard remains a place of mystery and fear, its secrets waiting to be uncovered by those brave enough to venture into its depths. Our next story takes us to New England's apple orchards, where a chilling tale of friendship betrayed unfolds. These orchards, known for their beauty and tranquility, hide a dark secret that few dare to speak of. A group of 5 high school seniors visited Apple Ridge Orchard. They were close friends, inseparable since childhood, and this trip was meant to be a celebration of their last year together before graduation. They were excited for a day of laughter and apple picking. The orchard was a place of joy and memories, a perfect backdrop for their carefree spirits. They arrived as the sun dipped below the horizon. The sky painted in hues of orange and pink, casting long shadows over the rows of apple trees. They ventured into the corn maze, eager for a challenge. The maze was famous for its complexity, a labyrinth that promised adventure and fun. The maze seemed endless, the tall cornstalks closing in. Laughter echoed through the narrow paths as they playfully tried to outsmart each other. As darkness fell, a sense of unease settled upon them. The once inviting paths now seemed menacing, the rustling of the cornstalks like whispers in the night. They realized they were hopelessly lost. The maze, which had seemed like a fun challenge, now felt like a trap. The air grew heavy, thick with a strange energy. It was as if the maze itself was alive, watching their every move. One by one, they started to disappear. Emily vanished first, then Jake. Their friends called out for them, but there was no response, only the eerie silence of the maze. Panic set in as they searched for their friends. The once confident group was now gripped by fear, their hearts pounding in their chests. The remaining 3 ran blindly through the maze. Their footsteps echoed in the darkness, each turn leading them deeper into the unknown. One by one, they too vanished. The maze swallowed them whole, leaving no trace of their existence. The next morning, the fog lifted, but no trace of the teenagers was found. The search parties combed through the maze and the orchard, but it was as if they had vanished into thin air. The orchard remained open, but a shadow hung over it. The once vibrant place was now tinged with sorrow and mystery. Some say their souls are trapped within the maze, forever wandering its paths. The legend of the lost friends became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers that lurk in the most unexpected places. To this day, visitors to Apple Ridge Orchard are greeted by an old weathered sign at the entrance reading, "Enter at your own risk." It serves as a chilling reminder of the fate that befell the 5 friends. Despite the legend, the orchard continues to attract visitors. Families come to enjoy the beauty of the apple trees, unaware of the dark history that shadows their steps. As the sun sets and the shadows grow long, some say you can still hear the whispers of the lost friends calling out from the depths of the maze. Their story lives on, a haunting echo in the heart of New England's apple orchards. Our final tale takes us to California, where Old Man Hemlock's orchard became a breeding ground for fear. This orchard, nestled in the heart of the state, was once a place of prosperity and life. But over the years, it transformed into a place of dread and mystery. Hemlock inherited the orchard, a legacy etched into the soil. It was a family treasure, passed down through generations. The trees bore fruit that was the envy of the region, and the land was fertile and rich. Hemlock took great pride in maintaining the orchard, dedicating his life to its care. He believed something ancient and malevolent haunted his orchard. Whispers of old legends and ghost stories surrounded the land, tales of spirits and entities that roamed the trees at night. Hemlock often dismissed these stories as mere folklore, but deep down he couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him. One evening, he felt an unsettling presence while tending to his trees. The air grew cold and a shiver ran down his spine. He glanced around but saw nothing out of the ordinary, yet the feeling of being watched persisted, growing stronger with each passing moment. He noticed a single word carved into a tree: leave. The carving was fresh, the letters jagged and deep. Hemlock's heart raced as he stared at the ominous message. Who could have done this? And why? The questions swirled in his mind, but no answers came. Fear gripped him as he realized he wasn't alone. The orchard, once a place of solace and peace, now felt like a prison. Every rustle of leaves, every creak of branches seemed to echo with malevolent intent. Hemlock's instinct screamed at him to run, to get away from whatever was lurking in the shadows. He hurried back to his farmhouse, feeling the entity's presence. His footsteps pounded against the earth as he ran, the sense of dread growing with each step. He could almost feel the entity's breath on his neck, its unseen eyes boring into his back. He barricaded himself inside, shotgun in hand. The farmhouse, usually a place of warmth and safety, now felt like a fortress under siege. Hemlock's hands trembled as he loaded the shotgun, his eyes darting to every shadow, every corner of the room. Days passed, but the feeling of dread never left him. He barely slept, his nights filled with nightmares and his days with constant vigilance. Every creak of the floorboards, every gust of wind outside made his heart race. He knew he couldn't live like this forever, but he didn't know what else to do. One morning, Hemlock was gone. The farmhouse door stood ajar, swinging gently in the breeze. Inside, the house was eerily silent, the only sound the distant chirping of birds. It was as if Hemlock had vanished into thin air, leaving no trace behind. His farmhouse showed signs of a struggle, but no trace of him was found. Furniture was overturned, and the shotgun lay discarded on the floor. It was clear that something had happened, but what? The mystery deepened as the days went by, and Hemlock's absence became more pronounced. The police investigated, but found no leads. They combed through the farmhouse and the orchard, searching for any clue that might explain Hemlock's disappearance. But their efforts were in vain. The case grew cold, and the whispers of the orchard's dark past grew louder. The orchard stood silent, its trees heavy with fruit. The land seemed to mourn the loss of its caretaker, the once vibrant trees now casting long, mournful shadows. The fruit, usually a symbol of life and abundance, now felt like a grim reminder of Hemlock's fate. Some say Hemlock was driven mad by the entity. They believe that the constant fear and paranoia finally broke him, driving him to flee into the night. Others think he might have succumbed to the darkness, his mind unraveling under the weight of the orchard's curse. Others believe he was taken by the darkness that haunted his orchard. They speak of shadowy figures and ghostly apparitions, of whispers in the wind and eyes in the dark. To them, Hemlock's disappearance is a testament to the orchard's malevolent power. His legacy became a chilling tale, a warning to those who ventured into the orchard. The story of Old Man Hemlock and his haunted orchard spread far and wide, becoming a cautionary tale for those who dared to enter the land after dark. The orchard, once a place of life and prosperity, was now a symbol of fear and mystery. The orchard still stands, a silent sentinel, its darkness lingering beneath the surface. The trees continue to bear fruit, but the land is forever changed. The whispers of the past echo through the branches, a reminder of the man who once tended to them and the darkness that claimed him. The tale of Old Man Hemlock and his haunted orchard remains a chilling reminder of the unknown forces that lurk in the shadows, waiting to claim their next victim. The orchard, once a symbol of life and abundance, now stands as a chilling reminder that some places hold secrets best left undisturbed. The whispers of the wind through the trees seem to carry the echoes of the missing, their pleas for help lost in the rustling leaves. Remember, as you bite into a juicy apple or sip on sweet apple cider, that each orchard, no matter how picturesque, might harbor its own darkness, its own tales of horror. Keep those stories in mind the next time you find yourself wandering through the rows of trees, the scent of ripe fruit heavy in the air,